Hi, Gregg. Jarrett, you are in the strategy room. There is a new candidate on top in the Republican presidential field. This, according to a brand new poll from the Wall Street Journal and NBC News. Take a look at this. Ben Carson surging ahead of Donald Trump with 29%. Now Trump second at 23%. There you see all of the others below. Now the businessman is taking aim at his GOP rival, saying Carson just can't do the job of being president. Joining me now with analysis are political strategist David Mercer, Brad Blakeman. Gentlemen, welcome to you both. Brad, has Trump hit a ceiling?
Certainly in the national polls it seems that way, but the national poll is really not the polls that we should be following at this time. We need to look at the battleground state individual polls, and that is in Iowa, New Hampshire, South Carolina, Nevada, and then the Super Tuesday states. So this will affect, in my opinion, Gregg, now these are two polls, maybe the battleground state polls as we get closer to the actual voting. But the fact that Trump's been knocked down a peg, it shows you what goes up must come down.
Iowa's the first contest, and Trump is now behind in Iowa as well. There was a big story last week in the Iowa Maine newspaper saying that Iowa Republicans are underwhelmed by Trump's debate performance. They seem to prefer Carson. Here's Trump's reaction today, David. Take a listen.
Sure.
Ben can't do the job. I mean, there's no question about it. He can't do the job.
He's
not going to be able to negotiate with China. It's not his thing. He doesn't do that because it's not his thing. It's not in his wheelhouse. He's never done it before, and I don't think it's, meant for him.
Being president isn't just about negotiating with one country. What do you make of Trump's reaction?
Or it's not just about negotiating with one network or cable station for a debate either, as Republicans are having trouble doing. Right. But that said, look, it's Trump's MO, right? Anybody that starts to creep up on him or surpass him, as is the case with Carson, he's going to take a hit at him. And he is calling into question his experience, which, only, I think, splashes back on Trump, because what public sector experience does he have, or public service experience does he have? So I think he's just trying to hold him back. But Carson is a phenomenon right now. And one of the key things in the polls that you cited earlier, Gregg, is that he's not only winning the overall national poll, but he's also the top as the first choice and also the second choice. Right. So he's got 50% of those polled thinking that he would either be their first or second choice. So this is no, it's not one day hit on criticism. Trump's going to have to figure out how he gets his footing back going into what Bradley said about Iowa, New Hampshire, and so forth in the first primary states.
It is not a requirement that you have held government or elective office before being president of the United States. Dwight D. Eisenhower certainly proved that. And when pollsters talk to registered voters, they seem to yearn for somebody who's an outsider, somebody who isn't a government professional politician, and certainly Ben Carson qualifies as that. Isn't it more about your beliefs, your judgment, and your temperament?
Yeah, that seems to be what people are most interested in 2015. Now let's see, when they have to vote, what actually they prefer. And this is the great dilemma, because we have two figures who now are leading the polls that are quote-unquote outsiders, but nipping at their heels are some insiders. So it remains to be seen whether or not those insiders get the message and are able to project that message to those on the other side. But let me say this. There is no doubt that not only Republicans but Democrats have to be feeling the dissatisfaction with the gridlock that's been happening in Washington. It is across the board. Right. And that's really, I think, going to be one of the main issues that drives this election.
All right, I want to put the poll back up on the screen one more time to take a closer look at some of the others. And Marco Rubio was described in the last debate as a winner there, and yet he's at 11%. He didn't really move much. Look at Jeb Bush, David, 8%. He denies it, but is it time to turn out the lights?
Well, if he doesn't, the voters are certainly reflecting that, and they're going to turn out the lights unless he gets a grip in a consistent and ongoing message and a vision for what he sees that he would bring to the United States as president. Right now, it's a very discursive and all over the place campaign. And just recently, as you and your viewers may know, he's got a new approach, is we can fix it. Well, you know, you can't fix the challenges that maybe the Americans face when your campaign have not fixed your internal operations,
right.
And to have polls the way you do. So he's losing. It's a vote of confidence that we're now seeing being reflected, and it's a low vote of confidence.
Right. David and Brad, good to see you both. Thanks for joining me. You can check out foxnews.com for more on the 2016 presidential race. I'm Gregg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.